Hey, everybody, this is Seth. Welcome back to part 2 of the Incredibad episode from the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast. It's weird because it's going to sound like we were literally picking it up right where last week left off, because that is exactly what happened. We did it at the same time. You guys understand how this works. Enjoy!
It's the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast.
So Santana DVX, explain.
Well, it starts with that it's real. And this was before everybody had a liquor brand at all.
Yes, Carlos Santana endorsed a sparkling wine, which,
Yes.
by the way, I had not remembered. And last night had was this real?
Yeah.
And was delighted to know it was.
It was always a limited amount of it. It wasn't like it was something people knew. I only knew because I happened just to have been in Napa for the very first time in my life and had gone to like the Moet winery for a tasting. And there was a big standee of Carlos Santana in there and he was holding the champagne. And back then, before everybody had their own things, that was so out of the blue and crazy. I mean, it's so different now that E40, who is the guest that I'm sure we'll get to in a second, he has a huge line of wines.
That's right.
In real life. And, Alizé type drinks and food, Goon with the Spoon. So that's how much the world has changed since we made this in terms of like artists marketing products.
I mean, it begs the question, do you think that E40 doing that song with us influenced his decision to go into his own spirits?
I think immediately, yeah. I think he decided to go into wines right after that.
So Carlos Santana, I believe, is Bay Area based. E40 Bay Area based. We're from the Bay. There was very much in our minds like this is like for the hometown in spirit.
Do you want to talk about the influence of the style of the song, Andy, too? Because that is also Bay Area related.
Yes, structurally, the song is based on a song by The Coup, who people probably now more know Boots Riley from his directing, but The Coup is another Bay Area group. Again, Bay stuff on this song.
What's that great Coup album where it's like a barbershop on the cover? Is that?
The one that was the big one for us was Genocide and Juice, yeah.
Yeah, that's Pick a Bigger Weapon. And then this is Genocide and Juice, yeah.
Okay.
This album.
What's the name of the song? Is it Pimps?
The song is called Pimps, and it's really like almost like a twofold song because it's Fat Cats, Bigger Fish is the lead-in, which you need to listen to really get the vibe.
But is it called Pimps? And then parenthetical, I'm looking freestyling at the Fortune 500 Club.
Yes, that is the one.
I feel like I should have just listened to it, but is it John Paul Getty and a Rockefeller?
Yes.
Yes. It's basically like a guy stumbles into this party as a waiter to like rob people. It's a fancy dress party. It starts with that. And it's all these rich white people who like run the world with all of their giant multi-conglomerate like businesses and whatever. And then each white rich person, they talk about how they've been dabbling in rap. And they go into like a rap guy voice.
It's a very funny song, intentionally so.
It's a really funny song already. And, the message obviously is like these guys are actually the biggest gangsters and like them co-opting this style would make sense because they're fucking people up.
Yeah.
Well, very prescient.
Yeah.
Yes. Ours was less prescient.
But I do say there's that really fun thing where you're talking in the beginning about, again, what you're about to do.
What is that, Cristal?
No.
Dom P?
Hell no. This is that Carlos Santana champagne.
Oh shit, Santana DVX? That's my joint.
Mine too, but a lot of these busters don't know about it.
Well, let's tell these motherfuckers.
As a kid, I used to lay awake and think, when was Santana gonna make a drink?
So now this is a song for the motherfuckers that don't know about Santana DVX.
That's right. Also, this was a moment in time where like talking about champagne and Cristal especially was relentless in hip hop.
That's right.
Yes.
Like Cristal was just like, oh my God, Cristal.
Yeah, the idea that we'd have our own Cristal to talk about, but ours is Santana DVX was a big joke for us.
Yes.
Just that alone. That's why it also is in I'm on a Boat. And is there even a third mention on the album?
I can't remember.
I forget, but we were definitely...
Yes, in a skit. The normal guy skit starts with you guys talking about how you're going to go to a party and drink Santana DVX.
All right.
So we're
God, good
relentless
memory.
in our own album mention.
So the fun now is you know the tone and you have a really good beat and this observation, but then you're basically just writing rhymes about how the actual champagne is good and then details about Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's so fun.
Very detailed details.
The Don Dada.
And then got E40 to come on as Carlos Santana.
Yes.
Which is also really funny because he's not doing an impression of Carlos Santana at all.
No.
So when he shows up, you can't imagine that's who it is. But then everybody's like, hey, Carlos Santana. He's like, yeah, that's right.
Gentlemen, what is all the hubbub about?
Carlos Santana?
That's right, I see you bitches is enjoying my sparkling wine.
We certainly are.
Well, be careful, because this shit'll get you fucked up. Bitch! Unlike no other, one of a kind, my sparkling wine. Santana DVX make you wanna have sex. I'm rich, bitch. I'm having my chicks. Get laid all the time by 70s chicks.
The fact that he did it and did such a good job.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, I mean, it made us so happy as people. We grew up, I mean, listening to every one of E40's albums. We couldn't be bigger fans.
That was the song that we would go back to, like friends of ours from the Bay, and we'd be like, we got E40 on a song.
It's still amazing.
Fuck!
And it still sounds dope. He's so good.
He's great.
You want to talk about the beat? Because Jay Zone made that beat, and he also is an amazing producer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that sort of more throwbacky, old school, like very chopped up samples. He didn't do that many samples, but he was just incredible at chopping things up. And he made like probably 5 albums before this. I got to know Zone from Brian, Danger Mouse Burton. And yeah, he just sent us a bunch of stuff. Do we have anything else with him? Is that the only song that we did with him?
No, we definitely have another Jay Zone song, but I'm not sure what. Not on this album. You made the beat to Incredibad, right?
I made the Incredibad beat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I have 2 lyrics I love that I want to mention. First of all, there's a lot of, you guys definitely came with this that Carlos Santana had a lot of sex over the years. I feel like that's a thing you kind of layered in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For
yeah.
sure.
He
I mean,
fucks.
we assume that's true also.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Anybody who makes a sparkling wine, I think it's safe to say that they did all right in the sheets.
This is, I think, a Kiev. He's a Southwest tie-wearing bolo champ coming straight out the box with a bowl-o champ.
No.
with a bold-nosed champ.
Bold-nosed champ.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is sometimes, by the way, sometimes lyrics finders will let you down.
Yeah, bold-nosed.
Bold-nosed champ.
Yeah, champ.
Fuck yeah.
And that's a case where, like, they literally rhyme champ with champ, same spelling.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible.
Totally different words.
That's really good. That's really good.
Really amazing.
I bet you Andy helped with that, but yeah.
So my question, though, is about the, what? Oh, I know it's a different, there's a different song with the Santa Fe, which is Dreamgirl. But because this was Southwest, I thought the Santa Fe line that I'm confused by was in this. But later you talk about somebody having a Santa Fe lean. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah, that's Dreamgirl.
We'll get there later. Then the end of this song fully loses its mind.
Yeah.
These are the final great things about this product.
A monkey drank a bottle and learned to speak. A square drank a bottle and became a freak. A lion drank a bottle and forgot how to growl.
A horse drunk a bottle and fucked a cow.
And we saved the best line for E40. Of
course.
And he kills it.
A horse drank a bottle and fucked a cow.
A horse drank a bottle.
Fucked a cow.
It's such a funny thing to say. This is good.
It'll make you go nuts. Also, that's the way Santana's selling his champagne. He's like, it makes you get really fucked up.
Yeah.
That's not the way you sell a sparkling. We also do call it sparkling wine because it's made in California.
Yeah. God damn it. So fun.
I will say this was a song that these guys came up with the premise and had written a couple of your first lyrics. And I walked into the room on this one. We've all had this experience when that happens, and it's a good one. You walk in and you're just like, oh, what a gift. This is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. It's real fun because at that point, they've built you a tiny little box where only certain things are going to fit into it. You can just sort of aim for that box. All right. So Santana DVX, you have nothing but love for.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Support for the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast comes from Airbnb. Hey there, Yorm.
Hi.
You love cool stuff.
Oh, my God. I can't. It's like my fave. Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes when you go to one of our great cities of the world,
Sure.
you might end up in a touristy area. And shout out to tourists. I'm not looking down my nose.
Sure.
But you like to plug in to the parts of the city, the beating heart, as you like to say, of where the locals live.
Beating heart. I like authentic experiences. I like local food or comida, depending on which part of the world you're in. Yeah, like all that shit.
Well, I have good news because that is what Airbnb provides to you, Yorm. You don't have to stay in a hotel where the other tourists are convening. You can find your way into a local neighborhood that you otherwise maybe would never step foot in. One of those neighborhoods that doesn't have a big old hotel, but rather just an apartment where some people live and now are being kind enough to let you stay. So anyway, I feel like you get this. You're a smart guy. I don't have to keep saying it.
You're speaking me long way.
Thanks to Airbnb for sponsoring the pod, and do check it out.
Yeah. Support comes from Rocket Money. Oh, I just love saying it, you guys. You know, I sign up for a lot of stuff on my cool phone. A lot of different apps, streaming services. I can't get enough of them. But then, as you may know from listening to this pod, I'm a little forgetful. And I often forget that I've signed up for these services. And then I end up paying months and months for something I don't use anymore. Getting Rocket Money was a game changer for me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel my unwanted subscriptions, monitors my spending, and helps me lower my bills so that I can grow my savings, so I can take over the world. You get to see all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For the ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them, which is fantastic. The new goals feature automatically saves money for you so you don't have to think about it. Pay off that credit card debt, put away money for a house or a car, or, I don't know, a jungle gym or something, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved over a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/island today. That's rocketmoney.com/island. rocketmoney.com/island. That's the sound of Rocket Money.
Next tracks, we'll get to them later, down the road. Jizz in my pants. I'm on a boat. Next up, track 5, Jack Black on Sax Man. Really fun. He's fantastic. This does have a little, it's Shy Ronnie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precursor to Shy Ronnie.
Structurally, yes.
But it has that sort of deliciously unique Jack Black performance to it, which is so fun to listen to.
Oh, yeah.
It is indeed.
His frustration with Sax Man. Basically, Jack Black is thinking about Sax Man. Sax Man does not come through in the moments that he expect him to play his sax. They're real tiny, just the right amount of, it's not quiet and you cannot hear it, but you know it's a sax.
I said the sax man's got my soul. Everybody gotta move their feet when the sax man's starting to blow. Now blow it, sax man. Okay, he's a little shy, but his genius cannot hide. Cause when the sax man starts to wail, they're gonna take you on a ride. Take it, sax man.
You know, on this song, which I was obsessed with this song because I loved the song Trying to Be Good. And I just love the idea of hyping up a guy who's supposed to be amazing and then he sucks. We had Lenny Pickett do sax for this song. Just little squeaks. I don't know why we needed Lenny to do it, but he sent us a bunch of real shitty little squeaks. And he's so talented, they sounded too good. So we had to go with the demo that was just this shitty fucking synthesizer that we had that we made dumb, horrible Casio sax sounds that we were just like, it's funnier.
Yeah.
Than Lenny trying to be bad.
Yeah.
Lenny Pickett, who of course leads the SNL band, is one of the greatest musicians on earth. Yeah.
Also Bay Area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tower of Power.
Yep, we love Lenny.
A lot of fun, Sax Man.
It was so exciting to us. Of course, we've already covered that Jack Black we had met through Channel 101, and he had done Awesome Town intro for us when we were trying to get our own sketch show right before SNL. But still, we were just still in awe of Jack Black. I mean, we still are to this day, but we were just so massive fans of him. And he had come to SNL to host, and obviously on the Lazy Sunday one, we had done Glurk. But still, to just put out the call to him. And we had a whole demo version with Andy doing Sax Man, and we sent it to him. And the fact that he drove himself to our house in Encino and plopped down and recorded it. When he opens his mouth, his voice is so iconic and amazing. The moment he was like, well, it was a sax, we're just sitting in the room being like, holy shit.
Yeah.
He's in the room singing still.
Yeah.
He also is one of those people, watching him physically sing exponentially improves the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, his body is exactly the way you want it to look while he's singing. It's so joyful.
And it's just the real deal. We're faking everything, and you're like, oh, it's the moment when America fell in love with him in High Fidelity when he was singing the Marvin Gaye song.
Yeah.
When everyone was like, oh, shit, he can really sing.
Yeah.
That routinely happened to us because we would always record like a million versions. We'd always like double our lyrics to make them sound beefier and cooler and da-da-da. And then you'd get like something from E40 or Jack would come in or Julian Casablancas, and you'd get these like E40's was a one take. And you're like, he just knocked it out.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, okay, that's how it's done, I guess.
Real talented musicians, not fakers.
There's 2 interludes. There's 2 tracks that are marked interlude. The first is Normal Guy. Now, I do kind of want to revisit Normal Guy and do a whole episode on Yorm's Doritos ad.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, we really kind of have to.
Yeah.
Strong agree.
If we're legally allowed to.
Oh, are we
Yeah.
contractually maybe not allowed to?
I think it's been enough years, right? Probably.
Contractually, we're not allowed to put it out, so no one could ever see it. But I guess they could hear parts of it.
I would just say this. Go listen to Normal Guy, the interlude,
Yeah.
and then wonder if you think he's the sort of got a pitchman vibe to you.
Visualize what you think he looks like, and then when we do that episode, we'll tell him what he actually looks like.
By the way, the voice is such a huge problem. I forgot what he looked like.
That's the bigger problem.
I think contractually we could say this. Did you direct it, Yorm? You started it.
Me and Andy sort of wrote it. Are we talking about this? Are we talking about the Doritos commercial?
We'll eventually talk about it. But just for people who are like, what are they talking about?
There was a year where we got asked to run the Doritos Super Bowl ad competition thing, which happened a few times, where people all over the country sent in homemade commercials, and if yours got picked, it would air during the Super Bowl. And part of that deal was we would also make one that would air during the Super Bowl. And we made one that they decided not to air.
Right.
And the reason they decided not to air it was that they tested it, and it tested the worst of anything that had ever been tested by the testing company.
I take full ownership and responsibility for this.
Seth's face is in his hands.
Akiva had to go when we really needed him most, and me and Andy decided it would be really funny to have the spokesman for Doritos be Normal Guy. Turns out America disagreed.
We'll play a little Normal Guy so people can hear the voice.
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much to do.
Hey, are you ready for the party tonight?
Yeah, man, I already got a case of Santana champagne, so should be good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good, John.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, don't make eye contact.
Ding dong, normal guy in the house.
Hey, man.
Oh, it's great seeing you other normal guys.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What are you guys up to?
Not much.
Hey, what are you other normal guys up to?
Seriously, nothing.
Basically, after they tested, they came to us and they were like, look, we can't air this on the Super Bowl, so can you just say that you didn't make a commercial? The competition was so great this year, you just wanted to give up your spot. We were like, no problem.
But there was a real silver lining. Part of what enticed us to do it was they said if our ad won, because it was the USA Today or whatever poll the next day where it's the Crash the Super Bowl thing, they were going to give the $1 million that we would have won to a charity of our choice. And we had chose the Berkeley Unified School District, which is the public school district that we all went to. And that was part of why we did the whole thing. And by them saying, hey, your ad can't run, they were essentially saying we were out of the running to win money for our charity, which was a bummer. Now, we knew that the thing that Yorm and Andy had made was never going to win. But what was great is when they said, hey, it's not going to air, we'll just give $250,000 to your charity.
Yes, because they thought we were going to be really upset that they weren't airing it.
Yeah.
But you were like, phew.
And we were like, no, the only reason we did it was for the donation to the school district.
And now we're getting a guaranteed donation, which was like, I believe Berkeley said it was the biggest donation they've ever gotten. And so it was a win-win, honestly.
But I will say this, for a while, I was recording very funny people like Will Arnett and Craig Robinson and some others. I was recording them watching what we had made and just dying laughing and then sending it to the people at Doritos being like, you sure? You sure you don't want to air it?
Now, I remember watching it, but I watched it after I heard it tested the worst of anything that had ever been tested. So I went into it thinking, how bad could it be? And I walked away thinking, I believe every word that you were told by the good people at Doritos. If you'd have told me they turned the negative dials so hard they like were coming off in people's hands.
I'm still proud. I'm still proud.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh so hard.
Now it's legendary.
It's unbelievable. And by the way, this is a case, and hopefully it's coming through in everything we're saying. Shout out to the good people at Doritos who 100% did the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Made a charitable donation.
Yes.
We're not trying to frame them as villains at all.
No.
But the normal guy interlude is really funny because, again, if anybody listened to this entire album who is in the world of marketing, no one would go to their boss and say, I think normal guy's the hit.
They definitely were suspect because we sent that to them. They were like, ooh, okay, well, we'll trust you guys, but ooh.
You know, for snack foods, they usually choose a mascot who's like extremely insecure and just desperate to be normal. And he clearly has something wrong with them. And it's just like, hey, we're all normal together, right? And we all love Doritos. Like, you're like, yeah, that's who I want to be like. I want to eat what that guy's
I'll
eating.
say this. Our thinking was, if this airs, everyone will be like, what the hell was that? And I do stand by that thought.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it would have made news.
People would have been like, what just aired on the Super Bowl? What the hell was that?
It would have stood out, which is a big part of marketing.
Yeah. But I get it.
Did I see it winning the USA Today Best Commercial Voting Challenge? Yes.
I feel like if it had aired, the kids at Berkeley would have been like, why did you do that?
Right.
You threw away your shot.
Why didn't you give them lazy Sunday, sir?
Oh, yeah. He's being British orphans.
Yeah. Honestly, we've already talked about too long if we're going to talk about it later because it's a whole thing. Because I'm in Atlanta shooting a movie.
Yeah.
They have to do it without me. I remember Seth calling going, well, I really see what you do in the group now.
Yes. By the way, shout out our friend Keith Schofield who did help us direct that.
All right. So here we go. The next interlude is Shrooms. I think we can go pretty quick on Shrooms. Tell me about Shrooms, guys.
The beat inspired it.
Yeah.
Who made that? Do we know?
Is it Drew Campbell?
Oh, I thought that was Beck.
No.
That's like not till our third album.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's Drew Campbell.
Our buddy Drew.
Yeah.
Bay Area, also Bay.
Anyway, it started playing and I just started screaming that, which is how half of our songs happened.
I'm on shrooms! I'm on shrooms! I'm on shrooms! I'm on shrooms!
It's a good interlude. And, you know, for me, I used to listen to Monty Python comedy albums, and there was always, I think an interlude is a very fair way to describe this.
I also will say, like, to me, it's an interesting time capsule because we were still young enough that I thought that was interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no, like, you know, microdosing or anything. Talking about doing shrooms was still something that was like, whoa.
Yeah. It's so funny. It's true. Instead of like every suburban mom also maybe does them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of shrooming at all times now. But to us, and like in high school and college and stuff, like taking shrooms was a big deal.
All right, then we go to Like a Boss. We'll get to that again. We like sports. We mentioned it, Just Two Guys. You'd done them once before. This is the second Just Two Guys song?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one was Just Two Guys. We Like Sports was the second one. As Keith said, we went to Kmart and we bought like the dumpiest jeans we could find. And we had found a lot of cool, really, really baggy t-shirts that had like things like Stewie from Family Guy on it that said, "What recession?" with like him with money that we thought were really cool.
Just balling out Stewie.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad to this day.
That's another time capsule that there was a recession and Stewie didn't give a fuck.
He's rich as fuck.
He didn't care.
We Like Sports is so much fun to watch.
Did we talk about Just Two Guys like probably early in this podcast when we were talking about our pre-SNL times?
I think we did talk about Just Two Guys. It is very flatly delivered. I highly recommend people go watch it on YouTube. Can I tell you my favorite line?
Yes.
Of course.
My favorite line is, "I'm team captain and I choose you." And then Keeve goes, "I'm the other team captain and I choose you too."
That gives you these guys' mindset in a nutshell.
Or also they might not quite fully understand sports and how it works when you're the team captain. And then what do they call you, Andy, when you show up? You have one moment here?
He's always Steve. It's his reoccurring character.
Are you that asshole, Steve, or is it worse?
No, he's
That's
the
a C
cunt.
word. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cunthole. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now I have no confidence in what I heard with my own ears.
A lot of people listening might be shocked by that, unless you're from foggy London town.
Yeah, of course.
Where it's pretty commonplace. We all know.
How long did it take you guys to shoot We Like Sports? That's a dayer, right?
I think it's a couple days.
Okay.
It might have been 2 days because, again, it was just our friend Jonah Goldstein came over with the camera, and it was just the three of us bopping around. Andy probably helped a little.
Mhm.
It's as lo-fi as it looks like it is. And yeah, it probably takes 2 days because there's no crew.
Right? It takes just as long to shoot something that looks shitty as it does.
But also when there's no crew, it takes double long because if you need a shirt, you go, all right, let's go to Walmart. And that's 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So it actually takes longer when it's just 3 people goofing around.
It's a lot of fun.
I love when we went on tour, I loved doing We Like Sports because it is so pure and nerdy. And the fact that the people who would pay for a Lonely Island show know every word. And they would sing it along, and we would do kind of a medley, and then we would I can't remember how we worked it, but we would do a thing where we, at a certain point, did lines from other real rap songs, like it went into a Drake song.
Well, in each of our songs, there's a breakdown, and the breakdown is usually a pretty deep hip-hop reference.
Right, what's the We Like Sports one? Is this the what, the Nori song?
Yeah.
That's a Nori, so that one's like less obscure. But, we did Try by 12, Carry by 6,
Yes.
which, we got that reference.
Yeah.
Bong, 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 bong.
But what did we do on tour? We did 21 Savage?
Yeah, we did 21 Savage. Yeah. And then we threw to Shy Ronnie. You know him. You love him. Shy Ronnie.
You came out doing Drake as Shirani.
Yeah, I think it was God's plan.
Yeah, you're like, God's plan.
It's basically the same. He's even shyer than they are.
Since I'm not on the song, can I say some of my favorite lines from You Like Sports?
Please.
Yeah.
If my team loses, I'll be mean all night. If you tell me to relax, we'll get in a fight.
Yeah, it's clearly our dad.
So funny.
Special.
It's so fucking funny to me.
Watching sports with girls is a pain. They don't know the rules. There's no time to explain.
Single.
It's getting to the root of why it's all so stupid. And I'm saying this as a sports fan.
Yeah.
But if you take a half step back, you're just like, yeah, it's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
And then
I drink whiskey because I like the taste. You think it's bitter, but I think it's great.
I also drink whiskey and we smoke cigars. Don't believe me? Smell our car.
so obviously doesn't like the taste.
You think it's bitter, but I think it's great.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know what people who like whiskey say.
There's also a lot of one-upmanship, right? There's always I also drink whiskey and we smoke cigars. Never wanting to be excluded.
Don't believe me? Smell our cars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we smoke cigars in the cars.
And we did it all the real way. We're just in a parking lot where we saw the brightest colored car and stood in front of it.
Yeah, I did go back. I thought, wait, is that a green screen? No, they just found a weird car.
Yeah, we just went to a parking lot.
Walked up the street.
Also, there's a really funny shot of you guys in a hot tub rapping, wearing white t-shirts.
Definitely.
That's our hot tub. Yeah. Didn't have to pay for that location.
My one other line that I like is actually the very last line of the song.
Throw me the baseball.
Now toss me the pigskin.
Now feed me the rock.
Now give me the rock.
Makes me think that person definitely does not. It's the first time they ever heard it referred to as the rock.
Hand me the rock? Will you hand me the rock?
Yeah. Hey, feed me the rock. Yes, the rock.
Feed me and then hand it.
We all have called it the rock for many years, so I will now also say,
give me
the rock.
Support comes from Aurora Frames. Okay, you guys, I think we all know people who like taking pictures. That seems to be a big thing these days, with us all having cameras in our pockets 24 hours a day. But guess what? Hundreds of those pictures are just being wasted. I would say hundreds of thousands of them. You gotta start putting them to good use with a unique, stylish digital picture frame from Aurora Frames. It was named the #1 digital picture frame by Wirecutter. They know what they're talking about, and for good reason. It's easy to set up, and they have different frame options, which are amazing. You know what I like to do, guys, is I like to go around the world and buy shot glasses, commemorative shot glasses. Got one in Finland recently and took a photo of myself buying it because my wife really hates them. And what better way to commemorate the moment by framing it with Aurora and putting it in my house? She hated that as well. Don't take my idea, guys, but you can do your own fun things. Best part is that it comes with unlimited storage. All you need is the free Aurora app with a Wi-Fi connection, and you can upload as many photos and videos as you want year-round. Right now, you can save on the perfect gift that keeps on giving by visiting auroraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver Mat frame with code ISLAND. That's AURA frames.com, promo code ISLAND. Don't forget to mention that we sent you to show your support for the show. Terms and conditions apply.
Support comes from HomeChef.
Okay, so HomeChef is that meal kit that we get. It's really great. And it's like all those little bags come and we cut up all the vegetables and then we cook all the stuff. And even though we don't even know what we're doing, we're able to kind of do it.
Well, it makes it really easy for when you're learning how to first cook meals.
I like that a lot. You know, HomeChef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Now, we've made some of these meal kits, and it did teach me how to cook a little bit. Which was your favorite? What was the favorite meal you had?
I really liked making the spaghetti and meatballs.
HomeChef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. And when meal planning ends up on the back burner, check out HomeChef's new 5-ingredient meals that simplify prep with super easy recipe steps using just 5 fresh, pre-portioned ingredients.
Name 5 ingredients. Any 5 ingredients. Go.
Pasta, salt, pepper, basil, crushed tomatoes. For a limited time, HomeChef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/island.
That's homechef.com/island for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. Yum.
homechef.com/island. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
There were 2 that made me laugh the hardest, and we're at the first. And again, part of it was just a lack of familiarity due to me not listening to it as much, to it not being a short. Dreamgirl with Norah Jones is so funny. It's so funny that Norah Jones is doing it. She has the best voice maybe in the world.
Yeah.
Singing it with such earnestness. And the 3 of you are just rapping about your dream girl who is a disaster.
Yeah. Maybe the guys have weird taste.
Yeah.
They might have weird taste.
What are some lyrics off of that? I can't remember that one as well.
Here's one. These are just descriptions of the girl. I mean, early on, this is kind of, okay, I've heard a song like this before. Dream girl, you amaze me, all dressed in paisley. Love how not one, but both eyes are lazy. Okay. Then later, Andy, just a few lines later, shows up. Half-eaten squirrel hanging out of your mouth. Now you're like, who are we dealing with? Then we go back to sort of a more normie complaint. You got your cell phone ring set to Sex and the City. But now here's the one I want you to explain. All right, ready, Keith? This is you.
You got your cell phone ring set to Sex in the City. You like a hot bowl of grits, only way more gritty. Straight dripping in turquoise, my Santa Fe queen. One short leg, you got the Santa Fe lean.
It makes perfect sense to me. What's confusing?
Yeah, she's leaning.
Well, okay, again, like you said, I married a native New Mexican. I've been to Santa Fe. Turquoise queen, bang.
Yeah.
Like, seen it. What is a Santa Fe lean?
Well, they've got one short leg. They're kind of like Michael Jackson.
Gotcha. So it's basically a woman in turquoise who's got one short leg and is leaning, is known as having a Santa Fe lean.
Yeah, famously.
It's a Santa Fe lean by way of being from Santa Fe.
Got it.
Yeah. Like the state in which she is leaning, or the city rather, is Santa Fe.
Yeah. Yorm,
yeah,
you come in with a lot of enthusiasm singing "It's music to my ears when you scream in your sleep."
It's music to my ears when you scream in your sleep. And when you lift your skirt in public, yo, I can't help but peek. You like Cleopatra with the eyes of a pig. Love to watch you in the backyard when you go out to dig.
You like Cleopatra with the eyes of a pig.
That's the most Yorm-ass line I've ever heard.
Yeah, for sure. Like going somewhere and then real bald.
But like really earnest with the eyes of a pig.
Yeah.
Andy, though, then you come in maybe with my favorite. Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you my favorite. Girl, how'd you get those mouse traps glued to your neck?
I don't remember any of these, surprisingly.
And then this, little rascal, how'd you get screwed to the deck? Like, what's going on with this person?
Must have been fixing the deck with some sort of power drill.
Little rascal.
Accidentally screwed herself to. So she was working with tools on the deck. Unbelievable. Then this one was just like a very simple, telling you to stop it, then you don't. I just like also this person's a bad listener.
Yeah.
But then I missed my favorite thing about the song. It begins spoken word Andy. Do you remember how it starts, Andy? What you tell everybody?
This is definitely a Yorm line, and I love it.
Some dude once said that love is a many funny things.
That's a beautiful quote to begin on.
Yorm, I remember it vividly. He's like, should it be like, he like had it so clear in his mind, the exact ways it should be wrong.
Oh, there's so many things wrong with that.
Some dude once said that love is a many funny things.
God.
Love is a many funny things, plural.
All right. I got more, though, because do you remember the spoken word at the top, though, Andy? This is a really important detail in the song that resolves itself in the final verse.
Oh, yeah. The song's brought to you by Chex Mix.
The song is brought to you by Chex Mix.
God, I had forgotten.
It's actually the redeeming quality of the whole song.
Agreed.
And then by the time they started singing about Chex Mix, you've forgotten that it was sponsored by Chex Mix.
That's right.
But then the last verse is a lot of stuff about Chex Mix.
Clams with both feet cause you're ambidextrous. No point cause we know you eat nothing but Chex Mix. Chex Mix, #1 food snack in the land. It's a cereal taste that you eat with your hand. Chex Mix at your local grocer, buy your box. Your family will all say, Chex Mix rocks.
Chex Mix.
Like if you had sent this to Chex Mix as a jingle, this entire song, they would not have responded any worse than Doritos did when you did Normal Guy. It might have tested better. But also, it's so great because Norah Jones basically sings the end of the song. It is just beautiful Norah Jones singing, Chex Mix, you're delicious. You got 60% less fat than potato chips.
It's a testament to how funny Norah is because that could be considered a waste of Norah Jones. But not for her. I think she was pretty into it.
She understood that it wasn't. I mean, it's really, really good. She also sings with, I mean, again, the full-throated intensity and passion we've come to expect from her.
You guys remember, did Chex Mix, I feel like they sent us a gift basket, though.
I feel like at some point.
Oh, that's nice.
I feel like somebody there was like, well, that's funny.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That's the right thing to do is to send you that.
Yeah.
It's the least they can do.
Yeah. Or one might even say it's the least they could do. Thank you.
Or the most they could do.
All right. Then we go into Ross Trent, Dick in a Box. The Old Saloon. Go.
Definitely inspired by the beat.
Great.
Yes, that was a Newmark beat from Jurassic 5. And I believe we couldn't clear the sample, so he replayed it, and it still sounded awesome. But for us, we always liked albums that really felt like albums when they had fun fuck-around tracks. NWA did a pretty fucking awesome with like, Yella, get off the keys, and like the Far Side would do it. Like, it just felt like you got to know the band. And
De La Soul, famously.
Always wanted to just have that sort of feel to make it feel like it was a complete story.
Right, like a big old party fuck around posse cut.
And that's what this was. It didn't take very long to record, as I recall.
So you're basically rapping like cowboys, but you start by screaming, this is the new shit, and somebody keeps screaming DJ Larry throughout the song.
Oh, it's not Larry. It's just DJ.
Okay, gotcha.
We were like, what if the DJ's name was just a weird sound? Yeah,
because it's
gotcha.
doing mixtape style, right?
Yeah.
Mixtape, yeah.
Yeah.
As I recall, we were just like getting over the mic, and like I remember Colin Hanks was over, right? So it was literally like just like, get up and say something. Just do it.
Yeah, he's on it.
DJ Larry! Oh no! My stash smells like
Something like that. Yeah.
It's just people, it's this, I think this is a nice exchange. I'm old Bill, I just rode into town. On my horse? You betcha on my horse. That's the thing in the old West times. Everybody enjoys a good horse ride. If you cheat at cards, you'll get thrown out. Right out the saloon doors on your butt.
Yeah, these guys know about the Wild West.
Yeah. Come back in and have a round of whiskey. Guess what? All is forgiven.
That's my favorite. All is forgiven.
Oh, yeah. The old saloon is a nice place.
Yeah.
And this is a real diamond cut specificity. I'm the bartender, but I'm also the mayor. Just
They're painting a picture with words.
I mean, and by the way, I was like, great, got it, know who that guy is.
I mean, I took a class on the Western in college in film.
Yeah, well, it paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off in this 1 minute scramble track.
Scramble. It could have been called a scramble, not a song, certainly.
It did feel like you guys were ripping the mic away from one another.
That's basically what it was.
I also like that it starts off more like it's going to actually be a rap song. Like, you came to the right place, my man. And then everyone there is the most fucking cartoony.
Oh, it has gunshots, right?
Was this on purpose or just because I thought it was so funny to me that you go, this is the new shit, and then you rap about like 1800 stuff.
That's right.
Probably.
I mean, somewhere.
Because that I thought at first was the joke, and then I'm like, oh, I think this might just be pure mayhem.
No, I think the joke is just that it's not new shit at all.
Didn't cross our minds.
Well, I also think saying new shit is what everyone says on mixtapes.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just so funny to be new shit, and you're immediately like, throw out the saloon doors on your back. It was like a cowboy time traveled and landed in your studio, and you were like, you have 30 seconds. Tell us everything about your time.
Oh, horses are great. And
It's also why I like All Is Forgiven so much. That would never be said.
Well.
There's also a special guest at the very end, Seth, at the very end of the song while it's fading out. Oh, I'm Tiny Tim, and it's almost Christmas. Almost Christmas.
Sure is dusty here.
Sure is dusty here.
He's at the old saloon still, to be clear.
Yeah.
He's time traveled.
We have 2 to go.
Okay.
All right.
They are Punch You in the Jeans and Incredibad.
Well, Punch You in the Jeans, like, I will always have a real soft spot in my heart for that, because for all the ones that came out of us just saying stuff to each other as friends, like, was that one that you started, Andy, of just saying, I'll punch you in the jeans?
I used to say I would do it to you at SNL.
Yes. It was something he specifically did to me.
Before we knew we had a record deal or before we had beats to choose from or anything, I just would walk up to Yorm and go, I'll punch you in the jeans. I'll punch you in the jeans.
Verse machines, roll up on you smooth and punch you in the jeans.
Yeah, it was like our Andrew Dunn rap from Hot Rod the DP.
Yes, it was just something he did to me.
Yeah.
So you had been doing it apropos of nothing. How quickly, when you got into the studio, did you think that would be a track?
But I think that was based off the beat, too, because it felt like a Jurassic 5-y kind of thing.
I was like, should Punch You in the Jeans actually be a song?
This is the only one I did nothing on, so I can speak really freely on it, that I love it. And it has stood the test of time to me personally.
Well, thank you.
Like, I find myself singing it more often. I find myself singing it to my children. I encourage them to listen. They haven't really taken me up on that, but they could.
I will say it's definitely one of Joanna's favorite Lonely Island songs.
When I punch a Gene, I like to imagine a face.
When I punch a Gene, I like to imagine a face. The fly is the nose and the balls are the base of the face.
You got taste and it shows, my man.
You've got taste and it shows, my man. That made the other guy think he had taste.
Yeah, there's a lot of agreement. We agree with each
God
other a
damn,
lot.
Eugene Brand got me throwing my hand. It's some of my favorite lyrics I've ever written, for sure.
But you're going to turn the 501s into 499s, you know? Also, all the contradictions in it about, like, it really doesn't matter as long as you're in them, but then they can be on the clothesline.
Yeah.
You don't have to be wearing them for us to punch them.
Yeah.
Those samples are actually just Andy doing versions of the samples.
Yeah, we couldn't afford any of the samples, so Andy did a very good job.
That's right.
So we didn't have to pay for them.
This is very nice. Gonna revise your Levi's with physical harm. Put divots in the rivets with my physical arm.
Yeah,
it's even better than that because it's revise. Gonna revise your Levi's. Yeah. Really falls on the beat.
Throw fisticuffs. Eat pants like bag lunches. Jeans pronounced dead. Cause of death.
Hecka punches.
Hecka punches.
Hecka punches.
Hecka punches.
So we asked for a voice note from Edgar Wright. He's the director of Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Scott Pilgrim,
yes. Last Night in Soho.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, he's a great dude. And he loves Punch You in the Jeans and told us about it all the time. That's the most positive Punch You in the Jeans feedback. So I thought he should weigh in.
Hey there, first time caller, long time listener. This is Edgar Wright ringing in from London. I've been
Foggy London
loving
town,
the
Andy.
podcast.
Ooh, I'm familiar.
Even the adverts. I've had real affection for everything you guys have done in the last, 20 years? Oh, that's crazy. Okay, the 20 years. So I guess I was in the house for the first ever digital short, Letters. It's the first time I ever saw Saturday Night Live being recorded. I was in town for the King Kong premiere, not that I had anything to do with that movie, and me and my girlfriend at the time were invited to SNL through Amy Poehler and Will Arnett. So I remember being in the house. It was Dane Cook and James Blunt. What a combo. And I remember seeing Lettuce, and I remember talking to you, Akiva, at the party. I'm pretty sure I met Andy and Yorma as well, but I definitely remember talking to you, Akiva, and I spoke to Bill Hader as well. But I remember complimenting you on Lettuce, and you were very modest about it.
Ooh.
Little did you know that only 2 weeks later, your world would blow up with Lazy Sunday. And, I've been a fan ever since, as you well know, because I text you guys about it all the time. And love Hot Rod, love Popstar, Never Stop, Never Stopping. But the reason you asked me to send a voice note is because in 2009, when Incredibad came out, I listened to that album so many times. I had it on CD, and I was shooting Scott Pilgrim in Toronto, or Toronto, as the Canadians say. And it was the CD that was in the car, and me and my assistant at the time, Leo, used to drive to work, which was like a 10-minute drive. And so we would listen to basically the same couple of tracks from Incredibad all the time. But we always listened to Punch You in the Jeans. And so it became like a bit of a talisman or something, or a security blanket on the way to work, of listening to Punch You in the Jeans. So I don't know how many times I've heard it. My iTunes, which is still on my laptop, tells me of all the Lonely Island songs, I have listened to Punch You in the Jeans 42 times. Now, this hyperfixation might be undiagnosed ADHD, but I don't know why I'm so obsessed by that song. I think it is incredibly silly, and it's got a nice groove to it. I like Andy and Yorma rapping.
Thank you.
And some of the rhymes are particularly silly. I like that it kind of is jean-centric, and then some of the rhymes have nothing to do with jeans. But I don't know. I'm just looking at the lyrics now. I mean, gonna beat those jeans, gonna dip them in slime, turn your 501s into 499s. Anyway, I've listened to Punch You in the Jeans many, many times. I think you guys were very excited when you eventually did a sequel to the song called We Don't Give a Honk, and were like really excited to tell me that there was a sequel to Punch You in the Jeans. But I do really love the song, and I love you guys, and your podcast is a total joy. And it's really nice to just hear about the shows. I was actually also, one of the other shows that I was in attendance for was the Strike episode with Michael Cera hosting at UCB. Maybe it was around Thanksgiving 2007. I was very lucky to be in the house for that as well. Anyway, it's really beautiful hearing all your stories and hearing all of the memories. And I love the fact that you guys are still going strong. I honestly think if we're talking Criterion Collection, just to kind of jump in on that conversation, I would say Sushi Glory Hole has got to be in there. A fantastic song, brilliant video.
Bam.
So that would get my vote as a sort of as an eventual Criterion pick. Anyway, I'll stop waffling now. I love you all. Bye.
That was so lovely.
Very nice.
Isn't that great?
Oh my God, he's so nice.
But imagine how lovely it is if you have long been a champion of Punch You in the Jeans, and to finally get that call.
He's been waiting.
I remember being like, we're 50% doing this just for you.
The sequel. You're talking about I Don't Give a Honk.
Yeah. We definitely thought about when making the sequel. We were like, you know what? Who's really going to like it? Gotta make it for Edgar.
By the way, I totally support making art for one person.
I fully agree.
Every now and then it's worth to make it for one and know that a lot of other people will also enjoy it. But don't aim for everybody.
Yeah.
Just aim for Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright's heart. Yep.
He brought up the lyric, the 501s that we talked about, that dipping your 501s in slime brings it down to 499.
Yeah.
So slime is just a 2-point reduction out of 501.
You got to ask Yorma that, yeah.
See, I always thought of it as that you dip them in slime, but then you're also getting 2 punches, whap, whap. And so that brings you down to...
Oh, that's what... So each punch...
One punch brings you down to 500. The second one brings you down to... Yeah, that's how I... Left-right combo.
So the slime is actually completely unrelated.
But
it says it's going to dip them in slime and turn them into... Your lyric makes it seem like a slime...
Yes, I know. You have to read between the lines. You have to read between the lines, Keith.
I mean, Keith, I'm like on the song and wrote a lot of it, and I didn't know that till just now. So that's why we're doing the podcast.
That's right.
I feel like this took a turn where it went from the absolute pinnacle of Punch Me in the Jeans, which was Edgar leaving this long message. And then you guys immediately start pulling the threads on Yorm's lyrics.
Yeah, we're unfurling the whole thing.
See, here's the thing. And Edgar mentioned it, like that maybe that lyric doesn't have to do with punching. But see, I think underneath it all, it does. You know, 2 whaps. Whap, whap.
I just think it's saying how layered the song is.
Yeah.
2007, when we did that Strike show, is when Hot Fuzz came out. And I remember getting to go to some very early screening because we had met and being so excited. And then that movie obviously did not disappoint. But I remember being one of the only people that had seen it going, oh my God, his follow-up to Shaun of the Dead is just as good. It's crazy.
Oh, just to compliment Edgar,
Yeah.
the fact that he likes our dumb stuff this much is so nice coming from what giant fans we are of his work. Like, he's just such a talented dude.
And, he arrived, I feel, in a very similar way, which was hyper specific, incredibly well-crafted, dumb stuff.
Yes. So much energy put towards something that is so dumb.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Final song on the album, Incredibad. It is the last track. It is also the title track. And my first question is, did you have that song and then you realized, oh, that would also be a good title for the album?
No, reverse.
You had the title for the album first.
Yes, because there was a period of time, I think we've mentioned this once, where we were debating what to call our group itself. And the two names we were debating between were The Lonely Island and Incredibad. So when we decided Lonely Island, I remember personally being like, but if we ever make an album, we should call it Incredibad. And so as soon as we decided to do an album and actually took the record deal, I was very adamant that it should be called Incredibad.
I feel like, Andy, you had that as a title for our potential group for a while. Was that a high school thing?
No, I thought of it right around the same time as Keeve wrote his one-act play.
When we were making Kablamo and Stork Patrol, and when we would make those songs, we would say the band name was Incredibad. That was making those.
Yeah.
I will admit that had I been a voting member back in the day, I think my money would have been on Incredibad as being a better name than Lonely Island. It has been borne out that I am incorrect, but Incredibad's really good.
Thanks.
It just, I think, doesn't age as well as The Lonely Island.
I would agree.
The nicest thing about Lonely Island, it's not jokey at all.
That's what Keeve and Yorm's point was, and I was outvoted, and I'm glad.
Gotcha. Now, do you remember that vote? Did you accept it at the time with dignity?
Yes.
Okay.
One thing I will say, 99% of the time, group dynamic, is that if 2 out of 3 think something, it just goes.
Yeah.
And it took us let's say it took us the first year of working together to find that rhythm. And then once we did, it just kept becoming the right call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of us would be grumpy about it. I remember personally being like, no, I want it to be like this. And then they'd be like, no, dude, we both think this. And then we do it. And people would be like, I love that it's this. And I'd be like, oh, I was wrong. You know what I mean? Enough times happen where you see it play out and that the 2 against 1 thing almost every single time was the right way to go.
Yeah, we all definitely had grumpy moments of not quite understanding an idea, but I don't remember it ever lasting more than 20 minutes.
I certainly never remember one of you storming out of the office being like, oh, I've had it.
I just had sex. I don't even understand it. You guys fucking suck.
It's not recent for me. I didn't just have it.
Exactly.
So now you know the album's called Incredibad. Did you know you wanted a track called Incredibad?
No, I think we just naturally came to doing a story track, an origin track, and then the lyrics led us there.
So this is another trope of hip-hop albums. Sometimes they'll have an origin song.
Yeah, kind of a back in the day song, or talking about what it was like being a little shorty is kind of a classic trope.
For sure that, but not an origin story like a superhero, which is kind of more what this is, really.
Right. But I think that it's when we were little.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I remember our only thing that we wanted to avoid was having it be too similar to Tribute, the Tenacious D song.
Right.
Right.
Which was kind of like an origin of getting their powers as a super cool group thing. And then once we started writing it and came up with what our story was going to be, we were like, yeah, it's not too similar.
Not to worry.
So again, in that lovely Lonely Island way, you don't waste a lot of time getting to the reveal. A dude from Mars basically shows up pretty early.
Yeah.
Well played by Akiva as the alien.
What? Was it played by Akiva?
No, I think that's Andy, isn't it?
No, it's you, Keeve. But I love that you can't remember. You're so forgetful.
Fuck. Burn. Okay, so it is me. Why do I think it was Andy? What have we done that's similar where it's always you, Andy?
Sometimes, Keeve, I feel like you're going to have Alzheimer's.
Oh, my God.
You're so forgetful.
Can I just say, it's going to come up again, definitely in Jack Sparrow, but I love that little Lonely Island move of you guys, somebody telling you something and you guys managing to fit in a what?
Yeah, that's pretty classic. By the way, that sounds fucking good. We sound pretty good on that.
You do sound really good now.
And the beat's very good, Yorm.
I was going to
Thank
say.
you. It was a Stevie Ray Vaughan sample chopped up, and then we couldn't actually clear the Stevie Ray Vaughan, so then it was replayed by Brian Sperber, who mixed our album. I'm remembering so many things, you guys, today.
Wow, you're lucid.
We did get a doctor to prescribe Limitless pills to Yorm. He's going to be
sponsored by Limitless.
But yeah, so basically the alien, to save his planet, you all have to have sex with it at the same time.
Yeah, to repopulate.
He needs our seed.
Yeah, and he's maybe a little pervy, and he's maybe manipulating us a little bit.
Story as old as time.
Yeah, he hasn't proven that this is true. We're just taking him at his word.
He does mention that we have to drink some wine coolers.
I like how matter of fact the alien is. Maybe that is why Kiev was cast.
Yes.
It's not a hard sell. It's more like, look, I'm just going to lay it out. This is what needs to happen. I will say.
But we're just 13, man. What can we do?
How should I put this? I think we should screw. On my home planet, we can no longer breed. I've been sent as a receptacle to store your seed.
Storing our seed? Yo, I think he means sex. Man, I'm a virgin. We all are.
He's also maybe from the 70s because he uses the word screw.
Yeah.
And then there's the exchange. Okay, we're in. Cool. Who should go first? I have 3 depositories to capture your burst.
Well, first of all, we say we're in very quickly.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of debate.
There's not a lot of deliberation.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this does echo back to the vote on the name of your group. This is immediately you go, yo, should we do it, man? I don't know. I say we put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye. All in. No one had any issue.
It's almost like we were all hoping that we were all going to say the same thing.
We assumed the other ones were going to say no. They're like, I know my answer is yes, but let's vote.
You know, man, 1 in the front, 2 in the back, had it locked up like a Chinese finger trap.
Yep.
That paints a picture.
It sure does.
But again, even while this is going on, still, what I like about the alien, he's still just very matter of fact.
Yeah.
My favorite line in the song is,
Keep pumping away. My wife and family, thank you.
I'm about to explode. Yo, son, me too. 3-way climax.
Yeah, I believe that's an Akiva line.
I think that's 100% Akiva. I don't know if he remembers it or not, but
I think I've blocked out the whole song.
Yeah.
Keep pumping away. My wife and family, thank you. Like, he's really sticking to this narrative. He's not just trying to get triple teamed by some earthling dudes.
Well, I also just like that you maybe think that, like, where he's from, maybe they don't have the same, conventional nuclear family structure.
Right.
They might have multiple, but no, he's married, he's got kids, and he still wants these 3 young kids to bone them all at the same time.
No, like, he told them what he was going to go do when he left the planet.
But then he gives you 1 wish before he goes back to space, and this is when it truly is an origin story.
Didn't have to talk. Knew exactly what we wanted before he took off. Mr. Alien, sir, for what it's worth, we want to be the greatest fake MCs on Earth.
Your wish is granted, and thanks again. I may have saved my planet, but I'm losing 3 friends. What happened today was both incredible and bad. Therefore, your name is Incredibad.
It's a nice bookend to Who Said We're Whack, just reminding you that we're fake and etc.
And then there's a NWA parody at the end where you all yell, stop, stop, stop.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. And there's also a nice little nod to, we also do a little scratch thing that was a takeoff on Run DMC's not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. And it's not bad meaning good, but bad meaning bad.
All right.
Yeah.
Then strong.
I will say, I want to just brush past the NWA thing because it is one of my favorite jokes on the whole album is saying, surprise, everyone.
Like a birthday party.
Yeah, that is not what they say.
It's a reference to, is that 100 Miles Running? Is that the end of 100 Miles
Yeah,
Running?
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite story rap song, like from the real world of rap?
The most famous one is probably Slick Rick, right?
Yeah.
Children's Story.
Yeah, Children's Story, and then Paul Revere.
Oh, yeah. Paul Revere was probably my favorite growing up.
Paul Revere is a goodie. Honestly, a little later on, It Was a Good Day. Ice Cube is pretty much that.
It's more like a treatment for a film. Shaky Dog. Is that the Ghostface?
Oh, the song Shaky Dog.
Yes.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about the kind of story like a shaggy dog.
Oh, yeah. No, I meant the song Shaky Dog. I feel like it's a good story song.
Yeah.
What is the Ice Cube that we love?
Today was a good day?
No, the kids one.
But that's not a story song.
Yeah, that's the nursery rhyme.
That's Hickory Dickory Dock.
I mean, that's one of the best songs ever made. That's fantastic.
All right, so here's the thing. This was wonderful. This was our two-parter on Incredibad. Next episode, it's a season premiere. It's Michael Phelps, and it is a song from Incredibad Space Olympics. All right, I love you guys.
Love you guys. Love you to see you.
Love you, dudes.